What's going on there, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today is a massive day. It's finally Season 1. We're getting a ton of bug fixes, bloom fixes. So many problems that people have been running into are going to be resolved, and I'm very excited to go ahead and dive on deep. And of course, don't forget, guys, subscribe and hit that bell on this channel so you stay notified on everything that's going on with this game, including tons of other first-person shooters or even third-person shooters. And also, I will be streaming the overall Season 1 event today, probably starting around maybe noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you guys are interested in checking out any of that content, you find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But leading up to Season 1, I swear, if you were to go online to any social media outlet, oh my god, you would think that this game has 1,000 people on it right now. It's completely dead. It's a wasteland. Nobody enjoys it. Nobody can even, it's pointless. But I'm here to tell you, don't worry about that. Season 1 is seriously going to bump this game up. And also on top of that, right here, right now, the game is nowhere close to being dead. You'll constantly see people, coming out in the comments section saying, losing tons of players, dead game, already dying. But let me tell you guys something. Everything regarding player count and numbers, especially for a Battlefield game, it's above and beyond probably the best Battlefield has ever been in its whole entire lifespan. But guys, very quickly, before I actually dive deep into all of this stuff, I did see something that was absolutely hilarious. Of course, the day of the big launch of, the Warzone competitor, which, it's going to be a battle royale coming out here within Battlefield 6. Call of Duty went ahead and made sure that Black Ops 6 is going to be free. Come on in, guys, you want to check out our battle passes, you want to check out our current thick skill-based matchmaking that isn't reduced yet, if you want any of that noise, come on in for free. You can do it, at no cost whatsoever. Of course, right when Battlefield is getting things rolling, and I'm telling you right now, this is not going to stop their progress whatsoever. You know what, honestly, let me start off with a post that I saw over on Reddit. And this one, it made me smile because it got a lot of likes. I think by the time that I saw this post, it was at 11,000 likes, which is just absolutely insane. But this post is by Character Worth, and they said, Battlefield 6 is still great. Reddit is just miserable. And again, this was posted 4 hours from, right now when I'm recording this, 4 hours ago. It actually has 12,000 likes now, which is that's a really big post for the Reddit page. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Typically, if you're topping out, it's going 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 if you're really popping with it. But 12,000 is wild, and it's a lot of people agreeing with this. But the post says, I swear the only people still using this sub are the anti-pre-order crowd, who has been sitting around waiting for any reason to say, I told you so. The player count continues to be great. Feedback great, and the game is still fun. I have a blast every time I boot it up. However, if you look on Reddit, you would think Battlefield 6 has 1,000 players left with a 3.6 user rating, and everyone hates it. Which is just so far from the truth. People having fun are simply having fun, not sitting on Reddit whining. Can't wait for Season 1 tomorrow, and the inevitable complaining Reddit will find to do. I will say I don't completely agree with the overall post. I don't think that, a lot of people are complaining for no reason. There are problems with the game, right? And this user actually, went down in the comment section and said, they're not saying that all complaining is pointless. He agrees with the netcode, having problems. It's a lot of, complaining that is rightfully so, but there are so many people out there on these boards, again, using all of the stuff that's going on to say it's the worst experience in the world. Nobody's enjoying it. Everybody's having an awful time. This is not Battlefield. This absolutely sucks. And again, it's all over. You might get 1 or 2 positive posts on these pages in a week. It just is what it is. And again, I'm not saying I can't complain. There's a lot of stuff to go ahead and complain about. But the majority of all of it isn't even respectful constructive criticism. It's all just harsh bashing again and again and again and again. Insanity. But then, you would think the game is dead, but it's not. It's thriving so well right now. Again, compared to any other Battlefield game, this game is performing great. Because Battlefield, let's be real, it always boils down to a much more niche community. And same thing is going to happen with Battlefield 6. It is the inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what. And, right now, in its current hype, this is probably the most hype that's ever been revolved around this franchise. It's great. Everybody should be cheering this on, that Battlefield is, getting itself back on the map. Because it is indeed doing well. Character Worth, the person who put together that Reddit post, is telling the truth. Basically, the whole community, or at least the whole page over on Reddit and on Twitter sometimes, is filled with those who, again, are just this is cursing gaming in general as well, not just Battlefield. This happens in all different games that I play. People who just want to say, I told you so. Gaming has gotten to a point where if it's not stupidly hype or has the most insane player counts, people will not respect it, acknowledge it, notice it, and they will all consider it garbage. And a lot of people like to just sit on games and just predict the death of them. So they can sit there and say, look, that's a bad game. I told you so. It doesn't matter. You know how many dead games I've supported in my lifetime, man? I love indie games. I love smaller titles. You don't get to witness, smaller titles if all you're worried about is will they succeed or will they fail. You miss out on a lot of cool games. And through every single one of those titles, I saw the same thing. Nothing but a bunch of players who don't care about the game, don't play the game, nothing at all. They're just there to stalk the players who enjoy it, try to talk down on those players to ruin their mood and, try to force them to not enjoy it anymore, and then are going to scream, I told you so, when, players inevitably go down at some point in time. Every single game you could possibly witness, and it's leaking into Battlefield 6 as well. But again, just look at the player counts here, ladies and gentlemen. This is extremely freaking good for a Battlefield game. We're talking about Battlefield here, ladies and gentlemen. As I stated in all the previous, introductions, Battlefield does not last that long. The hype doesn't last that long. Even with newcomers come to try out Battlefield, they don't stick around that long whatsoever. This is a solid experience. Throughout the previous weekend, it was a nice steady uptrend, going all the way up to 400k players by Sunday. Now, of course, going into Monday, everybody's going back to work, everybody's going back to class. The player count dips on down. But as of recording, around like 6 to 7 p.m., it's still hitting around 300 plus K. That's 300,000 players on Steam alone on a Battlefield game. That is like the coolest thing to witness whatsoever, and again proves that yes, complaints are there. Yes, people have issues with the game, but even when their schedules get packed and they're busy and they have things that they have to do, people will still choose this game as their casual title that they might put 30 minutes in to get a match or two. That's what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. The casual audience, the players who aren't on YouTube watching all these videos that you guys are listening to right now. Just, the casual audience that pick up a game or two every now and then, who don't care about what everybody's opinions are. They just want to play something. If they don't like it, they probably won't even care, and they'll just chuck it aside and not even discuss it. Those are the players that we are craving because they are important. They make up a lot. This is a next-gen only game for Battlefield, and they are, as I stated, it makes me extraordinarily happy. But also, as I was saying, don't believe every single bit of negativity that you see, bashing down the game, calling it pointless, not worth your time to try. Give it a shot if you truly want to. Yes, the game comes along with issues, and yes, all over Reddit you see reasonable posts, right? Not bashing, real posts that talk about the negatives, again, like netcode, portal problems, so on and so forth. There's plenty of things to go ahead and discuss. But people pretending that this is the worst thing ever, that this game is the worst launch. No, and I'm telling you right now, this is the best launched Battlefield experience we have ever seen to date. If you don't believe me, go back and look at 2042. Go back and look at all the previous games. Battlefield 4 wasn't polished for a year plus. Battlefield 3 had its fair share of netcode problems for ages. A lot of these games did not launch in a good spot, and they all were built up to be something great. We all knew and expected problems to come with Battlefield 6 at launch. It wasn't, it's not rocket science to understand this. We all knew it was going to be something, but I think a lot of us are impressed with how few problems there currently are. And none of us are trying to claim that nothing is wrong because we all knew there was going to be work that had to be done. But this game right here, over the course of a year plus 2 years in, especially if they can keep up consistent content while polishing off the experience, this is a top dog right here, man. A really solid title. And I'm telling you, with Season 1, with that launching today, in the middle of the week, beginning of the week, dare I say, I feel like that's going to really bump up the players. I hope it does. I hope it does because I really enjoy seeing Battlefield thriving like this. It puts a smile on my face. And I hope that they can thrive like this for a decent amount of time, even pushing past, the holiday season. If they can, I'm telling you, this game will go down. It's already going down in history for, honestly, the numbers that it's pulling right now and the consistency that it's pulling. But if it can keep that going, yeah, it's going to be a very fascinating thing to look back on. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and the second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are interested, got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.